Maybe you're sitting here right now thinking about what you want for this year. Maybe you've already made some resolutions or goals, or maybe you're avoiding them because you know how it usually goes. You start strong, lose steam by week 2, and feel like a failure by February. My friend, I've been there. But what if this year could be different? What if you could set goals that actually stick? Today, I'm sharing the exact framework that helped me lose 50 pounds and keep it off, and how you can use it too. Welcome to the Biking Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Smith, and I lost 50 pounds riding my bike by focusing on what my body can do. Now, I teach other women how to do the same. I am obsessed with completely flipping the script on weight loss so that we can work out to feel good and feel strong. If you are ready to stop dieting, learn how to appreciate your body, and have fun riding your bike, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, my wonderful friend. Welcome back to the podcast. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, a special warm welcome to you as well. Welcome to the Biking Wellness community. I absolutely know that you are just going to love it here. Now, before we dive in today, I just need to tell you that I am running a totally free January Jumpstart Challenge. So if you're listening in real time in January of 2026, head on over to www.sassy.com/challenge. That's www.sasscy.com/challenge so that you can sign up. Because here's the thing, the second Friday in January is coming up. It's going to be January 9th. It's this week, and that's known as National Quitter's Day. I actually saw a commercial about this over the weekend, an Apple commercial about it. And basically what that means is it's the day that most people give up on their New Year's resolutions and their New Year's goals. By mid-January, gyms are starting to empty out, meal plans are forgotten, and people are back to their old habits. But I don't want you to be a part of that statistic. This year is going to be different, and that's what this challenge is all about. We're going to make sure that you don't become a part of that statistic and that we are going to move forward together with our January 2026 goals. So if this episode is resonating with you, definitely head on over to www.sasscy.com/challenge and get yourself in that challenge. It is not too late to sign up, and I know that it is going to help you jumpstart your 2026. Okay, so let's talk about our 2026 goals. Let's talk about New Year's goals and what tends to happen, because here's what is usually the case. You make a resolution, you're pumped, you're motivated, you start strong, you're doing all the things, you're making the good food choices, you've meal prepped like crazy, your Sunday was like all putting the healthy lunches and breakfasts together, and you're just doing great. You're working out, you're tracking your calories, your points, your macros, all of the things. And then life happens. You miss a workout. You have a busy week. You eat pizza on a Friday night, which, by the way, please eat the freaking pizza on the Friday night. It's so delicious. But suddenly you start to think, well, I already messed up and I might as well quit. I've screwed up. It's just not going to work for me again this year. If this sounds familiar to you, it most certainly sounds familiar to me. It has happened to me countless times. But here's what I've learned over the years. The problem wasn't me, and the problem is not you. The problem is how you set the goal in the first place and how you went about trying to achieve it. So today, I'm going to walk you through my exact framework for setting goals that actually stick, setting goals that you can actually accomplish. It is the same framework that I used 6 years ago now to lose 50 pounds and keep it off. It's the same framework I use with my clients, and it's the same framework that I use in my free challenges. By the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly how to set a goal you can actually achieve. And you're going to be ready to start, not be scrambling, not second guessing, not first guessing, but being really clear and confident on what your next steps are. Does that sound good? All right, let's go. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to get clear on what you actually want in 2026. Not what you think you should want, not what you have always kind of in the back of your mind just been like, oh yeah, this is what's going on, this is what I need. No, I want you to really get super clear on and get super honest with what you actually want. Okay, so a few years ago, I actually set a goal to ride a 100-mile century ride, an unsupported ride, just 100 miles by myself. And my reasoning was, well, I've already done 50 miles, so 100 would be the next step. And it seemed logical, but I actually found myself abandoning that goal completely. I've still not done it because it wasn't what I really wanted. And maybe someday I will, but what I really wanted was to lose 50 pounds. I was the heaviest I'd ever been when I wasn't actively carrying another human. And I had some great reasons to want to lose the weight. Namely, I wanted to lose it so that I would be strong, healthy, and live a long time for my son and be able to keep up with him. And I wanted to feel freaking amazing. I wanted to be able to get up hills easier on my bike. And once I got clear on what I actually wanted, that was when I was able to actually start making progress towards my goals. And I'm telling you guys, I did not tell anybody about this goal. I did not tell a soul because I was so afraid that I wouldn't accomplish it. And I don't want that for you. So we're going to talk a little bit later about how you got to share this goal. But I want you to think now about what it is that you really want in 2026. Not what you think you should want, not what you think is the next logical step, but what is actually going to make you feel good? What's going to make you feel amazing? What really lights you up? Maybe you want to feel strong in your body. Maybe you want your clothes to fit better. Maybe you want to show up for yourself consistently. Maybe you want to compete in a specific ride or a specific event. Maybe you want to lower your cholesterol. I have women who want to do all of these things that are actively in my challenge right now. Get honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what do you really want? Okay, so that's step one, to get super clear on what it is that you actually want. Now, the next step is to make your goal really specific and be very clear on what your priorities are. So vague goals really just don't work. This idea of, I just want to lose some weight maybe, or I want to work out more, or I want to eat better, that's not going to necessarily get you the results that you want. You want to make it specific and you want to choose a priority that brings you closer to your goals. So when I decided I wanted to lose 50 pounds, and by the way, losing weight doesn't need to be a number. Like I said, maybe you just want to feel better in your clothes. Maybe you want to be more comfortable in your own skin. That's fine. But you have to have an idea of what you want that actual goal to be. I chose my priority that year. My priority in 2020 was weight loss. It wasn't movement. It wasn't strength training. It was weight loss. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't move my body. I absolutely did. I rode my bike. I walked. My son and I went for hikes all of the time because it was COVID. And what else are you going to do with a 5-year-old? But when life got crazy and I could only focus on one thing, I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be my food choices because I knew that my food choices were going to bring me closer to the priority of losing weight. That priority really became my anchor, and it's what kept me going when everything else was falling apart. Now, just let me be really clear here. It was a goal to lose 50 pounds, but by the time I lost the weight, I didn't even care about the number anymore. It wasn't about that. It was about feeling good. It was about feeling strong, but kind of having that specific benchmark was something that was helpful for me in order to have something to work towards. So just to be really clear, you don't have to have a specific number in mind, but if it feels good to, and if that is what lights you up, then that is what I want you to do. So be specific and know that you can work on other things in that goal and that there probably will be other things that bring you closer to that goal. But at the end of the day, make sure that you know that you have those goals and those priorities dialed in so that when life gets nutty and you can't do much of anything, you have that one thing that you can do. So the next step is to pick really small, doable actions. So here's where most people go wrong. They try to change everything all at once. That is why everyone quits on National Quitters Day. It's because they've been trying to eat perfectly. They've been trying to move their bodies perfectly. They've been trying to do absolutely everything perfectly. And that is just not sustainable. You get exhausted. You quit. The secret, my friend, is small, doable actions and changes that you can actually live with for basically the rest of your life. So when I was losing 50 pounds, I didn't try to do everything all at once. I picked small, doable changes that led to big results over time. I mean, I actually started by having just 2 cookies with my afternoon tea instead of 3. I started thinking about, intentionally planning what I was going to eat during the day. I started asking myself, am I actually hungry before I ate? So just small little things. Notice I didn't overhaul everything. And I do the same kind of thing in my 5-day challenges. And that's what women are sharing goals like, incorporating 2 strength training workouts a week, or drinking 80 ounces of water a day, or doing a pull-up by the end of the year. These are specific, doable actions and changes, not overwhelming overhauls. So here's what I want you to do. I'd like you to pick 2 or 3 small actions that actually align with your goal and align with your priority. If your priority is weight loss, think about, maybe I can intentionally plan my meals today. Maybe I can ask myself if I'm hungry before I eat. Maybe I can add veggies to 2 of my meals today, or drink an extra glass of water today. If your priority is movement-based, then maybe you are going to schedule your workouts for the week. Maybe you're going to take a 10-minute walk today during your lunch break, or do 10 squats when you wake up in the morning, or get on your bike for 5 to 10 minutes. Pick actions that are actually doable, actions that can actually get you to build momentum towards achieving your goals. Okay? So now that you have your goal and your priority and the small doable actions that you are going to start taking, I want you to think about what happens when life gets crazy. And this is why we need to know what our one priority is. Life will get crazy. You'll have a busy week. You'll get sick. Your kid will get sick or have a project due. Your grandkids will need to be picked up somewhere. There is something that will always come up. And when it does, you need to know what that priority is. That one thing that you're going to focus on when you can't do much of anything else. So for me, when life gets super crazy, my kind of one thing, my one priority is, you know what? I am just going to plan my meals. That is always kind of my one thing. I always think about, okay, what is my breakfast going to be? What is my lunch going to be? What are my snacks going to be? What is my dinner going to be? I know that I can do that in 5 minutes, and that keeps me from running and flying by the seat of my pants when my priority is weight loss. So if my priority is weight loss, I plan my meals. If my priority is a movement priority, then I'm going to get that strength training workout in at least once a week. This keeps me from feeling like I'm completely falling apart and feeling like I'm a failure when I can't do everything all of the time, all at once, because I'm not trying to do everything. I'm trying to do the one thing that matters the most to me. That feels good. One woman actually in my challenge this week said something that totally made my day. She said that my video actually really made her think, and that she thought that she wanted to lose weight, and she does, but she realized, it's not just that I want to lose weight. It's why I want to lose weight that's so important. I want to be stronger on my bike. I want to be faster. That's her focus. That's her priority for 2026. It's to lose weight so that she can be stronger and faster on her bike. And she's like, you know what? I really want to incorporate strength training. So my goal is going to be to strength train twice a week. So here's my question for you. I want you to think about what your kind of priority is. What is that most important thing? When life gets crazy and you can only do that one thing, what is that thing that you're going to focus on? Are you going to make sure that you plan your meals? Are you going to make sure that you get your water in? Are you going to make sure that you get to bed early and that you get good sleep? Whatever it is, I want you to write that down so that at the end of the day, you can say, hey, it was a crazy day, but at least I was able to do this, and point to that one thing that you were able to do. Okay, last step. And this is the one that makes the absolute difference between quitting and giving up and actually succeeding and making progress towards your goals. I want you to think about persistence. I want you to think about starting over. I want you to get really good at starting, because here's the thing. You are going to mess up. You are going to have a bad day, a bad week, a bad weekend. You're going to overeat. You're going to skip a workout. You're going to have these times in your life where nothing's going according to plan, where you have to prioritize someone or something else over you and your goals. And the difference between someone who achieves their goal and someone who doesn't is that the person who achieves her goal does not give up. She doesn't beat herself up for what happened in the past, she gives herself a little bit of grace. She gets curious about what happened. And she says, how can I make progress tomorrow? How can I start over again? And here's the reality. I still overeat sometimes. I certainly overate over the holidays. I will skip workouts. There will be days where I just don't feel like riding my bike or doing my strength workout, and days where I just don't or can't follow through. But I don't beat myself up over it anymore. I don't say, oh my gosh, I'm never going to lose weight. I shouldn't even try, or I'm just never going to be as strong as I want to be. I don't do that anymore because it's not effective. It would be one thing if it actually worked, but it actually doesn't. It doesn't work at all. So what do I do now? Instead, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to get curious about what happened. Ask yourself, why didn't I get on the bike today? Why didn't I make better food choices? What did I actually need in order to make a better choice, a better decision? Was I stressed? Was I tired? Was I just enjoying the moment? And maybe I just didn't care at the time. And maybe that's okay. Maybe I let it go. Like Elsa, I let it go. I move on. And I give myself a little grace. Don't punish yourself. Don't restrict everything the next day. Just start again. Just say, how can I make today a little bit better than yesterday was? Yesterday wasn't perfect. Yesterday wasn't great. So here's what I want you to think about. How do you talk to yourself when things don't go as planned? When things don't go the way you want them to go? Are you mean to yourself? Are you harsh? Do you beat yourself up? And what if you decide, I'm going to get curious instead? What if you ask yourself, what did I need in that moment? What was I not getting? What can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? That one shift is, I'm telling you, going to be the difference. It is going to be the game changer. It is going to be the shift between you sticking with your 2026 goals or you giving up on your 2026 goals. Okay? So those are the 5 steps, my friend. Now let me recap them really quickly and tell you what to do next. So first, get clear on what you actually want. What do you really want in 2026? How do you want to feel? What is your priority going to be? What is your goal? What is going to bring you closer to what you want? Second, make it specific. Choose that one thing that you are going to focus on. Is it going to be a weight loss priority? Is it going to be a movement priority? Is it going to be something else? What matters the most to you? Third, pick small doable actions. What can you do today to bring yourself a little bit closer to that goal? This doesn't need to be a super big overhaul. Just, 2 or 3 things that you can actually stick with. Number 4, really be dialed in to what that priority is so that when all else fails and everything else has fallen apart around you and you can only do one thing, what is that one thing going to be? And then finally, 5, give yourself a little bit of grace. Get really good at starting again. Get really good at thinking, tomorrow is another chance to make another decision instead of beating yourself up. Instead of feeling guilty over what you did yesterday, ask yourself, how can I make today a little bit better, and start again. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take these 5 steps and I want you to apply them to your 2026. What do you want? I want you to make this specific. Pick your priority, choose your actions, know what those priorities are, and give yourself some grace when things don't go according to plan. And if you're listening to this in 2027 and 2028 and 2030, I can guarantee that my advice is going to be the same. It doesn't matter what year this is, it is still going to be applicable to you. And again, if you're listening to this in real time, I'm running a completely free January Jumpstart Challenge. All you have to do is head on over to www.sassy.com/challenge. That's SASCY.com/challenge to sign up and jump right in. Even if you aren't listening in free time, check out that website because I will either be able to put you on the wait list for the next one, or you can see what current challenge we are running right now. So this is where, we really get hyper focused on our goals and we start to feel really good about moving forward in this year. And I don't want you to quit on National Quitters Day. I want you to have those goals and I want you to hold them close to your heart and I want you to make progress on them this year. And, here's the thing. Challenges are always better with friends. So if you know of somebody who can benefit from this challenge, please, please, please tell her to sign up as well. Tell her to go to www.sassy.com/challenge and sign up for the free challenge. I cannot wait to support you this week during the challenge. I can't wait to support you this year. Let's make this year the year that you don't quit, because the only difference between someone who achieves their goals and someone who doesn't is that the person who achieves her goals does not give up. And we are not giving up, my friends. You may not believe that this is possible for you, and that's okay. Let me believe it for you, because I know that you can make this the year that you want it to be. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful to you. I am grateful to you for listening, and I want you to go set that goal. I want you to make it happen. Talk soon. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Biking Wellness Podcast. Be sure to head on over to sassy.com/guide, SASCY.com/guide, to get my completely free Lose Weight Biking Quick Start Guide so that you can get started with simple, doable weight loss today. That's SASCY.com/guide.